everyone, and welcome. I'm Connie Douglas from Great Stamping with Connie. It is Monday, March 28th. Almost lost it there for a moment. March 28th, 2022, and this is That's Fancy. It's my weekly program where I share stamp sets, bundles, some wonderful dies, a fancy fold, a technique, something a little bit different, something not necessarily straightforward, but not necessarily something that's difficult. In fact, the card that we're going to make tonight is it's fancy, it's different, it's a fun fold, but it's not difficult to make. So it's something that I saw recently shared by Patty Bennett, who is a demonstrator in the United States. And so I thank her for sharing that. And tonight I'm going to share it with you because I thought it was a fun card and one that's, like I said, it's not difficult to make. So we'll have some fun with that very soon. Anyway, if you are on here, do say hello. I'm just going to get it up on this other device here so I can see what we're up to. And anyway, say hello. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're watching. Let me know how your day has gone so far. It's Monday. It's the beginning of a new week. And so, hope you had a good day. And maybe I will. Oh, there. Look. Tulips. Spring tulips. Nothing says spring like a bouquet of tulips. So our month anniversary was on Saturday. And so MSH still buys me flowers every month. It's very sweet, and it's one of the things that makes him my sweet husband. Anyway, I love him for it. But because my birthday was also last week, he got me flowers for my birthday. So I already had a mixed bouquet upstairs in the kitchen. There's only a few places we can put flowers these days that the little four-legged munchkins don't get into them, or we don't fear that they will get into them. The way they charge around sometimes, we don't want any accidents. So anyway, when he gave me the tulips, it was like perfect. They'll go down into my craft studio and brighten it up down there. So I am enjoying them. When he bought them just Saturday, and today's Monday, so just a couple days ago, they were closed up green buds. And by the next day, Sunday, they were starting to get fat and bulge, and now they are opening and they're mauve and beautiful. So it's my little bit of spring, because you can see my window there. It's not doing anything right now, but oh my gosh, another snowy, blowy, blustery day here in Wasaga Beach. So winter is back. The ground is white again. I don't know whether you can see. Oh, I can't point to it. I have to point this way. It's over there. Do you see that? That is snow on my windowsill. So yeah, we've had a few inches. So I probably should have shoveled, but yeah, Steve's away, and I didn't shovel today. It's supposed to be 14 degrees on Thursday. It's going to melt. We can just drive on it. There's not that much. Anyway, I will do a little bit of shoveling tomorrow before he comes home. He's visiting his best buddy, so I have a little time. Anyway, okay, let's, are we ready to get started with some crafting? I will point this down and we can talk as we go. Let me just find this. Okay, there we go. So I have pulled out the, I don't know, I set these things up, they're straight. I put the camera on and they're crooked. Anyway, there we go. It's better now. So I pulled out the Timeless Tulips stamp set. I love this stamp set. It's awesome. It has all the shading and everything on the tulips and the leaves. And anyway, it's very lovely. And there is a punch. Oop, just slide my accessories in here that I have on my desk chair. I have also pulled out the Tulip Builder Punch, and both of these products will be retiring in May when the new catalog goes live. So I wanted to show them some love before they retire, because as I say, they are wonderful. And I am going to be using the uh, Happy Easter, Happy Spring, Happy Everything sentiment for my cards tonight, because Easter is coming and it's time to make a few cards. and spring is, well, it's spring now, but hopefully the warmer spring weather is coming, because yeah, I think I'm done with winter now. It can go away. We can get warm weather, get rid of the snow. Let's get on with spring. That's what I say. Anyway, here is the card that we are going to make, and you can see it shows off lots of designer series paper. Has this little belly band that just holds it closed. So I will just slide that off of there so I can show you. Here's the two triangles. I haven't looked for this card on the internet at all, but I believe it is generally referred to as a double triangle fun fold or something along those lines. So there's your two triangles that fold in, and then we have this part that flips, and that's where you can write your sentiment things inside. The card does not open any other way. The back of the card is just a single piece of cardstock. So this is how you get into it. So there it is. It's an interesting fold, but as I say, it's not really difficult to make. And I am going to show you how easy it is. Okay, so we will set this up here so it's so we don't get ink or anything on it. And I am just looking for my book that I had here and then I moved because I was using it. Okay, so for this card, we are going to start with, we have a piece of colored cardstock that will be the back of our card, and that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. We have a piece of designer series paper that is 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. And it looks like that's a wide border, but there's this that goes in between. This is basic white cardstock, and it is 4 inches by 10 inches, and it's scored. You can see there that it's scored at 5 inches. So I am just going to give this a fold while we're here, and then it will be all ready. There we go. We also have 2 pieces of designer series paper that are 3 1/2 inches square, and these you want to score diagonally, and I haven't actually scored these yet, so I just wanted to share a little tip with you. It's not as crucial with scoring as it is with cutting, but whenever you are doing anything on a diagonal, I have a lot of paper bits in my track here. I should probably clean that out properly. Anyway, you're just going to line your corners up with your cutting track. But when you are going corner to corner like this, you don't want to start above it or below it, because it's very easy to smush into the corners of your paper. More so on designer series paper than cardstock, but it can happen on either. And more so with the cutting blade than the scoring blade. But again, it can happen with either. So you always want, when you're doing diagonals, to start in the middle. So it can be anywhere. It doesn't have to be the center, but somewhere within your paper. And then you just work your way out, which scores it and creates a little groove for your scoring blade to go in. Of course, if you're cutting it, then you have cut it once you've done that the first time, and it just it's not there anymore when you go back over. So it's just for starting, really, where it matters, so that you don't smush your paper when you don't want to. It is also a good idea when you are making this card to select a designer series paper that does not have direction. So it's non-directional as far as your pattern goes, because when you're working on a diagonal, of course, if this was my pattern up and down, when I fold it, I'm going to turn it, and now my up and down pattern would be going this way. So that could look a little funny. So best to pick a non-directional pattern when you're making this card. This paper is from the Sweet as a Peach designer series paper pack. There's no peaches in this piece. It's just flowers, but here we go. So there's our two pieces of paper. Now, what else do we have? We have a piece of designer series paper that is 1 inch by 12 inches, and this is going to be for our belly band. And then we have another piece of designer series paper, a 2-inch circle, and then just a scrap of some sort for your sentiment. Okay, so what do we want to do here? So the first thing we want to do is attach our attach our triangles to our basic white cardstock. Okay, so they were 3.5 inches, and this is 5 inches, but of course on the diagonal it changes the length. So I've just put that around there where I want it to go, and then I'm just going to flip it over, and you can use whatever adhesive you want, but I am just going to grab my liquid glue here and put some on here, and you don't need a lot. You're just kind of securing it into position here, because it's all going to get attached to the base piece as well. So put that down, and once you have it kind of in place, you can flip it over and just make sure you've got everything lined up the way you want it. Since you've used the liquid glue, you have just a moment to do a little rearrange if you need to. Okay, so there's that, and then that's pretty much the toughest part of the card right there. All done. So we are going to attach this to our cardstock bottom. And as I said, there's no, the bottom does not open. It's just a colored base. You may have noticed when I gave you the dimensions, this piece is 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. So it is, it's not quite our standard card base size. Usually they're 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but it is an appropriate size for the 5-inch basic white cardstock, and that is an appropriate size for this size triangle. So if you wanted to make it the full 5 1/2, you'd get into some kind of funky small dimensions for your triangles and things so that everything fit appropriately. So it's easier just to just to keep it simple and make the card just slightly smaller. It will still fit into our envelopes, and the 1/4-inch difference is, some people may notice it, but for the most part, I don't think anybody's really going to notice that this card is ever so slightly shorter than what our standard card size is. So there we go. And then for your belly band, I am going to cut a chevron here. You can cut that manually with scissors, or there's a number of punches that will cut that shape for you. My favorite for doing that's going to retire soon. I am so sad. And I'm actually going to take a little bit of a chunk off of here because this is longer than we needed. I just cut a whole piece of designer series paper. So this tailored tag punch is retiring, and that makes me kind of sad. Sort of like the circle punches. It's become quite the staple. So anyway, if you like it, you may want to grab it before it goes. So I was thinking I could either do this with the stripes, the way it cut. I have a white piece here, but I guess that's okay. I cut it for the flowers because if I have flowers, I want them to go this way. I didn't want them to be, sideways, obviously, which meant my stripes went across. Normally, if I'm going to cut a strip of striped paper, I would cut it so the stripes go this way. But I had thought I would use the tulips, and I think I will. It's probably not too wild across the back. It's just plain, so it won't be too wild there. I'm going to just add a little bit of a colored pattern. And across the front, a lot of it actually gets covered. If you look at this card, there's not a whole lot showing. So, and this circle I cut with the patterned paper, so it is kind of busy, whereas this circle I cut plain, so that's not too busy. So there we go. I'm going to do it this way. And to get the folds for your belly band, you just kind of wrap it and squeeze it. You don't want it super tight because you want to be able to slide it on and off. So as you are folding, you just want to not squeeze it tight around your card. You just leave a little bit of a gap. And then what you want to do is put some adhesive just on this part so that when you secure it, this part will hang loose a little bit. Okay, just if you put it right down, you tend to lose the chevron because you've got the paper on the paper. So you want it to just poof a little bit. So I am just going to put a couple widths of tape runner on there. And I'm going to put this back around here. Just line it all up and set it down just so I can straight. Oh, and then you just kind of let it go. Alrighty, and then we'll bring in our cardstock strip. Oh, I got a Calypso Coral. I guess that will work. I was thinking maybe I should have had Balmy Blue, but it's Calypso Coral for this one. So I sent a whole lot of Easter cards, but I do like to have a few at the ready. I should get them ready and start thinking about sending them fairly soon. I'm notoriously late to sending cards. Well, no, yes, I am late, but often not terribly, just a day or two. But I don't know. I'm sort of thinking, oh, it's too soon to do that. It's too soon. And I should just send them. I should just, get them in the mail. If they get there early, just be longer for people to enjoy them. No, I don't need them to arrive right on the day or anything like that. Let me just double check this. I think that works. Okay, and on my other card, I put banner ends on that as well. So I think that I will do that again, but I need to trim this off first. That wasn't a very straight trim, was it? And just punch the ends of this guy. Oh, there we go. So if you are a demonstrator, you have probably seen the PDF of the new catalog. One of the perks of being a demonstrator is that we get early access to the catalog, and we can actually start ordering some products from the catalog at the beginning of April, which is next week. So that's coming up. No, sorry, it's later this week. Yes, we're in this week already. Oh my gosh. March, the end of March. There we go. Yes. Okay, have that fairly even. I think so. Even enough. Yes. So, if you are a demonstrator, then that's one of the wonderful perks that we get. Early access. We get to order things certainly before they sell out. Everybody's suffering with shipping delays these days, but when you're right in there early at the beginning, you can get whatever they're offering. So that's a happy little perk for us. If you are not a demonstrator, you should think about becoming one. I would love to have you join my team, the Great Stamping Believers. There is absolutely no obligation when you join. It's just it's just a stellar way to get a really awesome deal on craft supplies, because you get $165 worth of product, any product you like. It's completely customizable for just $135, and then that can be it. That's all you have to do. You are not obligated to do anything else at all. Of course, if you wish to purchase any other supplies, craft supplies, you get everything you purchase at a discount of at least 20%. So that's pretty awesome. And you get to be a part of the Great Stamping Believers team, which is also pretty awesome. We have a lot of fun. I am there to support you and to help you with whatever it is you want to do as a demonstrator, be it just, be a happy shopper. I can help you save money and let you know about ways to maximize your spending dollars. Or if you want to, craft with some friends, we can talk about how you can do that, and how you perhaps get them to place orders with you to help you with that. Or if you want to, hold classes or full out, take it to the next level, you can do that as well. I might have made this belly band just a little bit loose. It's kind of sliding a bit. So I'm just going to open it up. Oh, and I'm going to add Just one more strip of adhesive there just to put a little bit of fresh adhesive on there. And then I'm just going to fold this a little bit tighter. Do it from this end. Okay. It's not as easy to see that where I'm lining it up straight now, though, because I have my sentiment on here and I have that other paper, but it's still quite loose. Why is it so loose? This other one was, oh, it's kind of loose too. Okay, so the belly band is loose, but that's okay. It's okay because you do want to be able to slide it on and off. So there we go. There is our first card. Wow, there's a lot of finessing. Anyway, oh, I thought I put my tulips upside down. I did not. I haven't put any embellishments on these. There's a lot going on with all the designer series paper. I didn't know whether I should or not, but because I am me, I do have some in reserve. But I have one more card that I wanted to make for you because because I wanted to give this a try, because I was wanting to use the tulips and all I used was the one sentiment. That wasn't really my original plan. My original plan was to do some stamping and punching, use the punch and all the rest of it. So let's go do that. So these pieces I have scored already. This is the Tulip, the Flowering Fields designer series paper, which is the Tulips from the January to June mini catalog. The other one, the Sweet as a Peach, is in the annual catalog. So, and the Sweet as a Peach will be going away at the end of the month. The Flowering Fields is available till June, but it will retire as well because our designer series paper always retires. It's very rare that it carries over. They did carry over the In Good Taste designer series paper from the annual catalog. It was in there this year and it was in there the year prior, but that is not the standard situation. So if there is designer series paper in the annual catalog or even the January to June at this point that you really like, you may want to stock up on that a little bit. So, okay. Put some glue onto this and get it attached. Go. Just flip that over kind of quickly, make sure I have it in the right place since I had moved it. I think we're good. We'll give it a rub on this side. That'll hold it down on the back. There we go. Okay, and then I have a pool party because I couldn't quite tell what this was, but it was definitely not balmy blue. So it seemed more like pool party, and this goes with pool party. I think it's because there's blending of colors going on here that it's just not quite true one way or the other, but this is also pool party in my belly band. So it will all come together, I think, when it's all assembled. So that's why I did that. Anyway, more about Stampin' Believers. What else do we do? We have team meetings every month. They're on Zoom right now. At some point, they may be in person and on Zoom. Not everybody on my team is local, so coming to an in-person meeting is is not an option for everyone, and that's fine. I love having both people that are close and people that are, you know, all over the country on the team. It doesn't matter where you are, as long as you are in Canada, you can be a demonstrator on my team, and I would love to have you join us. We also have days where we get together and craft. I was talking to one lady on the team today, and she wants to do some boxes. So our next team crafting day will be boxes. So I told her I would get that set up for somewhere around the middle of April. So that is coming. And so we do lots of fun things. And as I say, if you join, there is absolutely no obligation. It can be whatever you want. Anything, everything, or nothing. There we go. Now, you will notice that this paper is quite plain. So what I was thinking was that this is where I would stamp some tulips. So I have pulled out 30 flamingo, and I was going to get poppy parade as well. And then I think there was a squirrel that ran by. Because clearly I did not do that. But I can in just a moment. So there is my tulip stamp. I'm just going to bring in, oh, maybe this is a good scrap. Hello there. I saw the love. I saw it fly by. The thumbs up and the hearts and everything seem to show up faster than comments. I see those, and then there we go. Look at the detail in that. Is that not awesome? That's what I love this stamp. I mean, look, it's dark at the bottom, just like those flowers are, and then there's different shading as you walk through the flower. So pretty. Now, I don't know that I will have room for more than one tulip on each side of this card. So I may not actually need the poppy parade, but it is right behind me if I do, so I could grab it. But let's punch these out, and we will see what it looks like. Okay. Oh. When you have a punch like this with extra pieces, just be careful your order of punching. If I punched out this tulip first, I would obviously cut into this tulip. So I'm going to make sure to punch this tulip first. Just need to tilt this towards me a little bit so I can see where I'm lining it up. Or not. Holy mackerel. Come on. What am I doing here? I think my corner is kind of corner of my paper because it's a little bit off kilter. The corner of the cardstock was kind of pushing down in there. It's fighting me on the punch. But I created a flying tulip. There we go, more flying tulips. Alrighty. Set this aside, get some of these scraps out of the way. So there are my tulips, and then I have I pulled out just a piece of old olive cardstock. I thought I could punch some leaves, and again, I don't know how many leaves I need, but I'll punch a couple for now and punch more if I need more. And then the stamp set has a stem. It has two stems, actually, two stems that you can stamp, but that wasn't really going to work. If I was going to put my tulip on here, I couldn't really, I guess I could stamp a little bit of a stem. But what I did was, I haven't lost them. Nope, there they are. I pulled out our new tulip dies, because they're dies now, not a punch, and I die cut some of the stems from that one. So I was thinking I could just, it's a tulip stem, and I'm making tulips, so seemed like it should work. It's perhaps a little, almost looks a little skinny, doesn't it? Not quite sure. Maybe I should have them coming into each other. Does that make sense? Do something like that. That's going to get covered up a little bit by the belly band and everything, isn't it? But I think that might be okay. We're going to give it a try anyway. I don't know what to do down here, though. This could be, maybe they should just go straight down, straight-ish down. It's so hard to tell when it keeps popping. And I don't know, I think this sort of squarish end is intended to be the top of the stem. I don't know that it would really matter one way or another, but and then, well, I guess if I put a leaf on, that might help. Does that help? And which way does the leaf go? Maybe I should just lay this down flat on here. It might be easier to try and figure out. Do this and this. But now I can't really tell how it would look on the card. But you know what? I'm just going to put it together, and if it doesn't look right, I'll pull it apart. How's that? So a little bit of glue. Whoops, sorry. I should do this on the camera, shouldn't I? A little bit of glue on there for the stem. And I don't know. Oh, that's way off. I don't know how much. I should bring this in and kind of see how much to want up here, because there's not a ton of space. Maybe I'll put the glue on the stem of this one. There. Then out. So put this here. This. Which way is supposed to go? Maybe more so that way. That could work. Yes. Does it need two? These things get a little tricky to pick up. Maybe two leaves on each one. And that would sort of fill that. Okay, yep, we're going to do that. And give it a go. Again, if it doesn't work, I'll just not attach it. would be sort of back to the drawing board. I should probably put the silicone mat under here because I'm playing with little bits and glue, and I don't want to end up with glue on my paper and then on my card. That would be most unfortunate. There we go. And so now I will need a couple more leaves. Okay, and I think we will do pretty much the same thing for this one. So this goes here, and this goes here. Yes? Yes. On this side. Hopefully, anyway. See how pretty these tulips are? I have definitely played with this set. I have used it a fair amount. It's actually been around for a couple of years, I think. But every time I do, I'm just reminded how pretty it is. And like, look at those tulips. I love them. They're so cute. I think I should just make a whole bunch of tulips. I'll make a whole tulip garden. Doesn't even have to go on a card. Okay. Ooh, did I get glue on there? See? See? I've got glue on here. I don't want that on my card. Okay. So now I just need to figure out where to put these on here. I guess they could even go up. Could they up and down? Ooh. What do you think of that? Look at that. Endless possibilities. But yes, there's no reason why these couldn't be. This just can't be over there. So this needs to tilt slightly. Maybe I should put this one. Because this one is tilted. See? Someone said, why is, how much time do you spend creating a card? Yes, well, this is why, right? Because we start playing with ideas and things, and then sometimes we go down a rabbit hole. I think I want this one straight if the other one is going to be on an angle. I think I like that though. Put him right near where these meet. So you have to be careful now because you only want glue on the part that is going to attach to this triangle. So I'm going to do this one first. So I want it on the bottom part of the tulip, and then it can go down the stem a little bit. And I want to make sure that I close this like this. And I was going to put this right about there, wasn't I? I guess I could have put some on this leaf too. Just give him a little lift up, and then we'll smear glue on him. That'll hold him right in place. There we go. And then this guy is going to go up high. So again, just on the bottom, but I could do the top of both of these leaves. So it's not as much on the tulip. Down here, both of the leaves. There we go. Okay. I think this is going to work. So there is my circle, and I just need a scrap for my sentiment. Not sure, this one looks a little narrow, but we'll give it a go. This to the edge for a moment. Bring this in. Sentiment and my Flirty Flamingo ink. We'll give it a go. It's going to fit. I don't think it's too narrow, but we'll see in a moment. No, that'll be fine. Cool. So, tailored tag punch once again. I'm just going to go down here so you can see where that is and come out a bit. Oh, and do the same thing on this side. Go down so I can see the stamping. No. And I have a circle of designer series paper. Now I could do it this way or this way. Let's attach this and then we can decide how busy it's looking. I guess would be maybe the deciding factor, or part of the deciding factor anyway. It's just kind of folding it quite straight. No. So I'm just folding this with my fingers as opposed to with the bone folder, because it is going around a few layers of cardstock, so it's not going to be a super crisp fold, because you want a little bit of height to it, I guess. Almost like a 3D kind of thing. So again, so this even there. There we go. So what do we think? Some more tulips, or is that a little bit of busyness? That's the ones that actually punched this. So I had all these colors. Maybe I'll punch another piece and use. I don't know why I'm having so much difficulty picking things up tonight. Everything seems to be almost like it's staticky or something. That might be better. Or maybe playing. I don't think I want Poppy Parade because I've got Flirty Flamingo there. There's not a lot of Poppy Parade here, just that bit up in the flowers. So, okay, I think I'll just use this. This will work. But I think I'm going to do it on this side. I think the tulip side is a little bit too busy. Just kidding. Trying to get that centered top to bottom, left to right. I'm going to put this on with dimensionals again, I think, just to give it a little poof. I have I put a few dimensionals on here because it is part of the belly band, so it's something that people will take on and off and play with a lot. And by play, I just mean, sliding it on and off. It's not exactly a toy, but just because they will be touching it a lot, I just want to make sure it's really nice and well secured. There we go. It's different. It's hard to, you lose some of the tulips with the belly band on, but as you take the belly band off, you have your nice tulips. I do like those tulips. I'm gonna have to make more. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them just yet, but I really like them. Maybe because I'm in the mood for spring. So there we go. This someone had asked if you could make it without the belly band. It would be difficult because this is just designer series paper. It would be quite difficult to get enough of a crease in here because you have there's no weight to your designer series paper, so it's always going to poof on you, I think, and that's why you need the belly band. If you wanted to do it just with making it into a card, you'd have to, do something with cardstock over there, maybe your sentiment on a piece of cardstock or something to really put some weight on it to hold it down. Anyway, there are the cards. Now, what do we think? A little bit of bling. I pulled out some opal rounds because I thought these are nice and sort of generic. And I moved my take tool because I need to get another one of these, clearly, because I now craft in too many places. So I'm just going to get another one of these, and then I can at least have a couple of them around. So these are all one. Oh, no, they're not. There are some smaller ones, aren't there? Looks like there might have been a third size. I'm not sure. But I only have 2 sizes left here. So I think these are smaller, a little smaller. So if we use 3 large ones, I will empty this sheet. Yay! That's a good thing. Not that I want to use them up, but when you end up with many packages of things started, it means you have stuff everywhere, which of course it's not a bad thing. So I just said I wanted to have more of these things in other places, didn't I? What do I think? Put these somewhere different. Put down here. Can you see that? You can't even see what I'm doing, can you? Just thinking maybe on the belly band. I'm not sure. I'll just stick with this. This sentiment piece was just a little bit wider on this one. So there's not quite as much space for the bling. But we can make it work. Can make anything work, can't we? When it comes to bling. Oops. There we go. Look, done. Empty. That is trash. This is for recycling. Okay. So there we have it. 3 cards with some opal rounds and a fun fancy fold or a fancy fun fold or something. Let me join you again there we go. Okay, so I hope you like those cards. They're not really difficult to make, and yet they look pretty fancy when they're finished. So um, anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you this evening. I hope you have enjoyed it. I invite you to share this video with your friends. I would love to have you share this video with your friends, um, and invite them along to do some crafting with you or to join me on a crafting adventure. So thanks so much for stopping by tonight. Have a wonderful evening, rest of the evening, and we will see you all again really soon. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.